Hey guys, this video I'm gonna be talking about the Superman and Lois Arrowverse disconnect that we got in season 2 finale. If you guys enjoy the video, which will be a full-on rant, by the way, hit the like button down below, subscribe for new, notifications on. We're gonna get right into it. So, at the point in time we're recording this, about a week ago, literally a week ago today, Superman and Lois season 2 finale aired, and which just alone was a pretty bad finale. There was a lot of plot holes in the story. There were a lot of... It looked great, you know? I think we can all agree it looked great, but we can't avoid the fact that the writing made no sense. Again, it looked great. You know, let's look at that. Nothing else. But the thing that really set literally everyone off, I've watched so many reactions and so many reviews, and 90% of those people who reviewed 215, who reacted to it as well, had the same exact reaction, which was just focusing on the Arrowverse disconnect. They couldn't get away from it. I had the same thing, but my thing was, I still didn't like the finale no matter what. So here's what happened last Tuesday, because I had some people asking me about it. I had recorded a full 25-minute review over Superman and Lois 215. I was going to upload it, which was just me talking about the Arrowverse disconnect. It was a full-on rant, and it wouldn't go up, so I decided to change that video to the Flash Season 8 20 trailer breakdown, which did really well, by the way, thank you. So that's what happened there. And ever since, I've been getting asked pretty much endlessly by a lot of people what I think about this, and instead of saying it on Twitter and whatever, they want a full video about it. And since I don't have any other videos I really want to do this week, I figured I'd do it now. I was going to do it last week, but some things happened, you know, you can't really stop that. And also Flash Season 8 wrapping up, I had to get those videos out. So, we're doing it now. I was pissed, and frankly, I am still pissed off. The fact that they had Diggle on in season 1, basically connecting it to the Arrowverse, with him mentioning that Oliver died, and, you know, during, there was questions from the nurse mentioned in season 1 as well, I'm pretty sure season 2 also. But the fact that Dig mentioned Oliver that died, and that every hero would say that Clark was one of the good ones, same as Oliver, it doesn't sit well with me, especially when we just learned that there's no other heroes besides Oliver and Clark on this world, at least on that scale, that Clark is the only one with powers and has been away for, what, 10 to 20 years now? No. And also, they mentioned Oliver's sacrifice, which more than likely was for a crisis. Which makes no sense if you think about it, because our Oliver, the one that was on Earth 1, and then it would be now Earth Prime, he died to save the multiverse. So to say that Oliver Queen died during Crisis just makes our Oliver's sacrifice useless. That's my perspective of it. Because if this Superman Lois' Oliver died to stop Crisis, to save the multiverse, then why didn't he just sacrifice himself? Why did our Oliver sacrifice himself if there was another Oliver that did that? Which makes no sense in itself, because the monitor searched across every possible Earth and came up to our heroes. Oliver made that sacrifice because of that. So unless there's another monitor out there that's making all these decisions, which makes no sense in itself, then what? But nonetheless, we go to Dig again, season 2, in the finale, where Dig appeared in the same clothing that he appeared in the Flash 818, which aired about 2 weeks earlier. Or a week, or 2 weeks earlier. What the hell? And the weirder thing is that David Ramsey called Todd Helbing and said, hey, my hair's grown a lot since then, I've grown a beard, you know, I just finished wrapping up in the Flash. Todd confirmed that he knew that. And David Ramsey even asked if you wanted him to shave and get a haircut and change his clothing. Todd said no, just come over and film the scene. What the hell? You can't do that. What Todd did is just basically confirmed that it's part of the Arrowverse, but it's not. You can't do that. If it's not part of the Arrowverse, then make it work. Don't bring in Diggle looking the exact same as he did on The Flash and say it's not the same Diggle. And also, there's a green box. They brought it up in season 1. But you know what Todd's excuse was? This Diggle also got that same box. Which makes no sense, because they said they searched across the earth and Diggle was the one to get the box. It makes no sense. And also, Kara? What about the Kara on that world? And even in the comics, any world there's Superman, there's always a Supergirl. There's always a Kara Danvers that come from Krypton. And obviously Krypton's destroyed, so what, there's no Kara? Because there's no way they can bring that in now. There's no way that they can bring in the Flash, because, wouldn't that kind of ruin it? Now, let's assume that they do bring in the Flash. It would have to be Grant. If they bring in a Supergirl, it would have to be Melissa, because Todd literally said, this world, it's the same as Earth Prime, but the history is a little bit different. There's the same people, there's still Barry Allen. I think he even said there's a Kara Danvers, which makes no sense. Why isn't she Supergirl? But nonetheless, do you see the controversy here? It makes no sense. It is so stupid. It's so stupid. It's like, how? That's like saying you had the Flash, but there's like no Oliver, no, like the Flash is on a separate world. That's what it's like. But here's another example of how it got dragged out. Todd knew during season 1. And the more stupider thing is that Eric Wallace, who we knew before Armageddon even aired, when they were filming, that he reached out to Tyler to come onto the show. And he had a full-fledged plan for this to be the first Arrowverse connection to the Arrowverse Superman and Lois. And he talked to Todd Helbing, and Todd said, hey, it'll be the Earth Prime Superman, not our Superman. He didn't tell Eric Wallace what the hell that meant. Eric Wallace didn't know what that meant until a week ago after an interview following up the Flash Season 8 finale when someone told him that. Meaning Todd Helbing didn't give two craps to tell Eric Wallace, the Flash's showrunner, who wanted Tyler on the show multiple times, that it wasn't part of the Arrowverse. You can't do that with shows. That is a massive disrespect to the Flash, to Arrow, to Supergirl, let alone what Sam said, confirming this disconnect, and I'm quoting this, he is the finest of any Earth. He said that about Superman, that's not Superman Lois' Earth, the Superman that we've gotten on the show for the past 2 years. He is the finest of any Earth. He wasn't talking about any Superman, he was talking about any hero across all the Earths. That is a massive disrespect to Oliver, our Oliver, to Arrow, to Flash, to Supergirl, to all the Arrowverse shows, especially Arrow and Flash, which Flash is now the longest running Arrowverse show ever. There would not be a Superman and Lois without Arrow, without Flash, and without Supergirl. All three of those shows made this show possible. And they won't even admit that. Todd would not be working on the show if he had not been working on The Flash. Whether you want to agree with that or not, he would not be on Superman and Lois if he was not working on The Flash. Period. He wouldn't be. He'd be doing something stupid with his life. I guess he's doing something stupid now, so you know. But I want to confirm this. I am not watching season 3. And it's not just because, it's mainly because the Arrowverse disconnect, but also this back half of season 2 was just horrible. I didn't care about it. I loved Tyler Superman, I loved Bitsy as Lois, and I loved the entire cast, but what's the point of dragging fans on? And let's not even get to the point where Todd Helbing literally said that it's our fault, the viewers' faults, for not seeing that this isn't our Superman that we got in Earth Prime, in the Arrowverse for the past 8 years. This is the same Diggle that we've gotten for the past 8 years. He literally called all the viewers who thought this show was part of the Arrowverse idiots, when there is literal proof that it is. And also, if you knew back in season 1, like he said he knew back half of season 1 when Dig appeared, probably a little bit before that he knew, but he couldn't say anything till now, why the hell would you give Dig the line about Oliver and the other heroes? That makes no sense. Why would you do that? If someone can figure out why that makes sense, let me know, because I don't know. It's stupid. And also, if you hear something in the background, it's a little bit stormy outside. Storming outside. So if you hear thunder or something, that's what it is. Just so you know. But it's so ironic. Well, not ironic. It's stupid. But it's also kind of funny that he thinks he's going to get the same amount of viewers in season 3 from season 2. No. You're definitely not getting one from me. And I know I've seen thousands of people across Twitter, YouTube, and other places saying that they're not going to watch season 3 of Superman and Lois just because of the Arrowverse disconnect alone. We're not counting the fact that how many people did not like that finale, which I'm sure a lot did. You know, if you don't look at it, you might have enjoyed it. But the fact is that there were so many loopholes in that finale that made zero sense. Allie made zero sense because it was dragged out. Classic Todd Helbing behavior, drag stuff out to get 13 episodes in the season. Can you imagine if this was like a 23 episode season? Good lord. That would have been horrible. We would have had the worst season of DC TV history. I still think that belongs to Legends, the past 4 years of Legends. And also Batman rolled into one. But I think the writing in the back of season 2 was like Flash Season 7 writing. It was lazy. All they cared about was making sure it looked good and thought that's what everyone would be pleased about. We don't care about how it looks. I don't. As long as the writing's good, I don't give a crap. But you saw those people who are like, oh, the show looks great, let's ignore everything else. Those are not real viewers. Okay, they're real people, but they're not people who, you know, actually understand what a DC TV show should be. It doesn't matter how it looks. The Flash can look like a freaking movie every week, but what it comes down to is the writing. Does it make sense? The answer is yes. In season 8, it all made sense. If you really think about it, it made sense. Eric Wallace made it work, and he made it work. Todd Helbing doesn't make it work. Todd Helbing is easily the worst showrunner in the history of showrunners. And the interviews, I thought Eric Wallace was bad, but good lord, Todd Helbing is something else. The fact that he called the viewers idiots, or that he's treating them like idiots, and the fact that he's saying that we should have known that this show is not part of the Arrowverse just by Dig alone, when he's wearing the same exact freaking clothing as he was in The Flash. No, you don't do that. And you don't hide behind, oh, DC told me not to, or WB told me not to. I don't give a crap. He literally went on the stage. He did an interview before the finale and said it's part of the Arrowverse, and that we're going to get answers to it. I don't remember. There was so many confusing sources saying that it was and that wasn't, that we're going to get an answer to, and that we're, whatever. You don't do that. You don't hype everyone up for 2 years. And you know the funny thing? This show is carried by the Arrowverse. Whether you want to admit that or not, it is. How many promo images? How many, like, and by promo images, I mean, you know, like promo pictures or posters for Superman and Lois. How many trailers Superman and Lois connected to the Arrowverse did we get hyping up this show? Like 20. We literally got like 20 of those things. They literally just made this show to screw with fans and to say, hey, it's part of the Arrowverse, but psych, it's not. We just made all the viewers from the Arrowverse watch this show for 2 years. That's what they did. That's literally what they did. And they decided to hide in a corner and not do anything about it. That is depressing, that is sad, and Todd should be ashamed of himself for doing that, let alone by just treating his fans like idiots. That's not okay. I don't care what in the world happens, that is not okay. And no one should ever do that. Like, no, I don't care. But whatever. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about all this. Yeah. Have a good day, have a good night, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.